Hello and welcome in today's episode of What the F is Founder's Office. In the previous episode, we uncovered some myths regarding the roles and responsibilities when it comes to a person working in the founder's office. And in today's episode, we'll be talking about what are the exit opportunities when it comes to someone who's working in the founder's office. What are the future career prospects? Where do you end up going to once you've worked in the founder's office? And once again, thank you so much to everyone who's been helping out with the constant feedback, with new ideas, new suggestions for the upcoming videos. So I really appreciate all your help. And if you really like the content and it's providing value to you and your time, I'd really appreciate if you could please like this video, hit a subscribe. And if you need further help with your founder's office roles preparation, or general guidance, doubt session, how to appear for these roles, how to excel at these roles, I would love to have a chat. I'll leave the links down below in the description section. Please feel free to check it out, and let's dive into it. Right. So, what does a person working in the founder's office end up doing in their career, in their future endeavors, in their future goals, right? Um, and that's a very general, common question that people mostly have doubts about, because a founder's office guy is a generalist, right? And as a generalist, you are expected to do everything and anything, right? Wherever the founders, the senior strategy team needs you, you will be asked to provide your inputs and jump onto that ship and work alongside them. So, as a matter of fact, if you're in the founder's office or a chief of staff role, you are a jack of all trades, and at the same time, you are master of none. It is a little harsh and little upsetting to some people, but that's the truth, because you've recently started out in your career, and you're getting the exposure of working in multiple divisions and multiple departments, and you get a flavor of how sales work, how marketing works, how customer success work, how all of these combine together and create the demand, create the revenue for the company. How do you decide new product features to be built? So you get a flavor of every single department that the company is putting their focus, putting their energies on. But at the same time, you will not really be devoting 100% of your time in one particular department. So you'll work on a project for 6 months, let's say, with a product team, and then you will move on to solve the next biggest challenge that the company is facing. So let's say you joined the founder's office, you worked there for about 1, 2, 3 years. Then what's next, right? That's a very common question, because every now and then, and in particularly in today's age, uh, people are really looking forward to joining new companies, new startups. So what's next? You end up joining another founder's office role. Well, in partially, yes, that is one of the career routes that people do tend to take. That you can of course go ahead and go ahead and join another founder's office role in another startup, maybe in a more mature company, or maybe even in a more early stage company. Right. So that is one of option, of course, that people take. However, there are a couple of more, less traveled options that I wanted to talk about. One of them is, let's say you've worked in a company for a few years, and you really enjoyed working in one particular department. Let's say you worked alongside the product team throughout your 2 3 years tenure, and you really enjoyed working in the product with the product team, and understood the nitty gritties, the nuances of product management, and you want to make a career in as a product manager. Now, if the company has a vacancy, and your founders, your leaders truly believe in your potential, you've proven yourself during your time when you were working alongside the product team, then of course you can transition your career from being a founder's office guy to being a product manager. And same goes for any other division, right? If you really enjoyed working in the sales, marketing, customer success, For me, it's been mostly about investor relations as well as revenue operations. So those are the two charters that I've pivoted myself into. So I started off my career as a pure generalist, pure executionist guy who would, you know, put his hand up and try and solve strategic problems in any of the department which needed my help. But over the course of time, I realized that there were certain projects that I really enjoyed working on, and that's how, after speaking with my founders, I decided to pursue these two divisions with almost 80 to 100% of my capacity. But that being said, because you are still in the founder's office, you can be expected to help out the other divisions from time to time. But your major projects or the main charter that you're handling would occupy 80 to 100% of your time. The other career opportunities that often do not get talked about are moving or transitioning into a VC role, and that is something which I wanted to talk about. There's a certain role called a Pre MBA Analyst in some of the top VC firms. What they do is, let's say you worked for about 2-3 years as a chief of staff or in the founder's office role. Now there are headhunters that would look at your LinkedIn profile, and another reason to maintain a updated and decently looking LinkedIn profile is that these headhunters will reach out to you with a position of a Pre MBA analyst in some of the top VC firms. And as a Pre MBA analyst, you would be expected to work alongside the associate. And as the name suggests, Pre MBA analyst, as in they expect you to be there in that role for about another 2 or 3 years, and then either go for your MBA or climb up the ladder in that organization and become an associate. Right. So that is one of the options that I would suggest that people should explore, because again, being in a VC gives you that opportunity to look at the whole ecosystem from a bird's eye view, assess the whole sector in much more depth. So that is one career option that people should definitely explore. Apart from that, either you and one of the last things that people do is they of course go for their masters, for their MBA, MIM, MSBA, and multiple other masters that there exist in the market. So these are the top 3-4 things. Either you become a specialist, you migrate from being a generalist, you become a specialist in one of the departments, you go on and join another founder's office in a much more established company, or in a much more early stage company, or you go on and join a VC as a Pre MBA analyst, or you go ahead and do your masters. But I think those are the 4 or 5 broad categories that I've seen people. Of course, the fifth one is, and the most exciting one, the one that I personally would want to do as well, is they themselves become a founder. And I've seen a lot of people go on and becoming founders themselves, and that is truly inspiring, because you have worked alongside the founders themselves throughout your stint. So naturally, you would want to become an entrepreneur yourself one day, and kudos to people who've been able to do that. So yeah, these are the 4 or 5 broad categories that are the usual exit opportunities once you spend 2-3 years of your time at a founder's office role. But I think that's broadly it for this video. If you have any doubts, if you have any suggestions, please feel free to reach out to me on the links below, comment down below. And if you have any ideas about the next set of videos, I would love to hear that from you. Until then, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.